Hi guys!
Hi guys!
It's Jack and Lorraine back again with another video.
And another one in our series of how to. And this week we are going to how to prepare for
corporate videos!
Yay! And what exactly is a corporate video?
Well, generally they are videos that are used by businesses usually it's very informational, like an infomercial, I guess would be a good way of describing it.
Nice.
An explainer video of sorts that is usually trying to get a lot of information over to you through video format.
Exactly, and it's not an advert because an advert is usually typically much more punchier, shorter in terms of its content and context, and it's going to be aired in some sort of paid media form. So a corporate video, which can be anything from 1 minute to, I don't know, 15 minutes more, for example, is really there to inform the audience about what this company, brand, service or product is in a much more in-depth and, I would say, more expert way.
And usually it's used internally by businesses for training and so on. There are sometimes ones that may be used that are for public things like events and things like that, to explain what the company does, to explain the processes they go through, etc. But generally they are used internally for training as the most common use of an explainer corporate video.
Exactly. So by that method they are actually much more in depth, and the copywriters work quite hard to script out long paragraphs.
Totally not doing any copying and pasting.
Absolutely, and really trying to give the company, brand, product or service a little bit of personality, coming to life and explaining it to the audience. So in terms of preparation for such videos, what would you recommend that voices do?
Well, generally, with an informational video such as this, you are going to be speaking in longer sentences with complicated words. So preparation is the key. Get the hold of the script as soon as you can before the session and have a read through of it. That way you'll know ahead of the session what words you need to check, what words or what phrases you know you're going to stumble over, because there are generally difficult ones like digitization.
Digital,
millennial. There are a lot of business jargon. There's going to be a lot of business jargon thrown in a lot of the time, which can be very difficult to say. And remember that generally, because these are internal videos, they are normally scripted by somebody internally working for the company, not an out-and-out copywriter necessarily, which means they may not have a good grasp on what is easy to say and what is difficult to say, or what makes sense in a conversational term to overhear.
And also sometimes the copy will be written for the company, by the company, because it needs to give that flavour of what the company does. And in most cases, it can be particularly wordy because a lot of the times the companies that we record for, at least, tend to be quite science-based, can be quite financial, and we've
have big technical terms that need to be used on a daily basis for them, which would be normal for them.
We had a good one the other day. Was it about physics and science? And that was quite complicated for The Voice because it had a lot of scientific and chemical compounds within it.
Yeah, and that was a very interesting one because it was separated into 5 different parts of a script, which we all need to get done within that hour session, and a lot of technical jargon thrown in there, and also some formulas were thrown in there too, which seemed a bit random, and it turned out we didn't actually need to record the formulas. But yeah, that's by the by. But basically,
every day's a lesson here.
Basically, you really do need to have a look as soon as possible at the script, so you know what words you can highlight in the session, like say, well, how do I pronounce this? Or what does this mean, and just to kind of get a lid on what you're actually saying. I'd say it's very important for preparation for this kind of thing. And
ask at the beginning of the session, if there are things that you need clarification upon, anything from how you say the company name to the phrasing, and also the speed that they want to go through, because sometimes if they are a big multinational company and this video is to serve all of their company all over the world, it may mean different languages, and speaking very fast may not be appropriate, so the pace may need to be taken down, or contrarily, it may need to be picked up quite a lot, depending on the content and what they're going to do with it.
And usually with corporate videos, they don't have so much of a time limit on how long the recording needs to be. Generally, they would be recorded wild and then have the animation put on afterwards, so you're not as constrained generally as you would be with, for instance, a 30-second advert. So that means that it allows you more time to breathe, that you can actually, fundamentally what's most important is for this video to be used to explain something so that their employees or whoever's viewing it can understand it, and therefore you need to be clear, it needs to be not too quick so that you miss words, it needs to be nice and clear and easy to understand.
Exactly, and what are clients looking for when they want a corporate read? It's quite specific, but generally it can be anything from authoritative, assuring, and friendly. Now this can mean a wide range of things, and we're going to break them down. So what does authoritative actually mean?
Authoritative, I think, generally is basically sounding like you know what you're talking about, being assertive, and there's an element of surety and power behind what you're saying.
It's almost like you're the company representative at that moment. You're trying to bind everyone together to this big idea that they're trying to explain in quite a lengthy video.
Another reason why you should read the script before the session, so you have a clue of what you're talking about rather than reading it for the first time in the session, because things generally sound quite strange when you read them for the first time, and you almost you almost turn it into a question when you're reading it sometimes.
It's like, the artflexion.
Exactly, the artflexion, because you're not sure whether you said it correctly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So assuring, I feel it's something very warm, it's give a bit of gravitas to it, again, mirroring what you said about the power thing.
Leaning into reassuring as well, that you know what you're talking about again.
Yeah, it's almost being that sort of figurehead as well, and again, just bringing everyone together, making sure everyone's on the same page.
And then finally, friendly. Now, friendly is quite a broad term. We come across it a lot as direction in voiceover sessions. Friendly is probably the most blasé term that you could describe most things as friendly, but generally friendly is the opposite of formal. So generally friendly is wanting to, I think with these kind of videos, it's to try and put across that rather than being above the people that you're talking to, you're not talking down to people, that you're talking to them on their level.
Exactly.
As a member of the company, that we're part of the team, we're all in this together sort of thing. Yeah.
And most corporate videos will have an element of that. They are very much trying to pull everyone together, they're trying to really harness the organisation as a whole and make sure everyone is in it together. And a lot of the scripts will read like that.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's generally about it. I think that covers most of it for corporate videos. Was there anything else you wanted to add to that?
No, that works for me.
Cool. So that's corporate videos for you. It's a voiceovers bread and butter. Generally, voice-wise, they're looking for you to be, as well as being authoritative, assuring, and friendly. Generally, clear is the name of the game.
Yes.
You need to be easy to understand.
Exactly, and upbeat.
And upbeat, yes. Make it fun. Don't make it boring.
Exactly.
Last thing they want. Anyway, that's today's video. If you liked it, give us a subscribe and like and all the rest of it on the YouTubes, and check out bigfishmedia.co.uk. That's where we're from. And until next time, I've been Jack.
I've been Lorraine. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.